Assalamualaikum students, this video is about November 2023 exam series, paper 2 of variant 3 of paper 2 and question 3 part B. Assess whether bus and road rail systems, local rail systems in cities should receive substantial subsidies from governments. So as you are aware that knowledge understanding plus analysis have 8 marks and evaluation has 4 marks. Knowledge understanding analysis are assessment objective 1 and 2, whereas evaluation is assessment objective 3. So first we talk about knowledge understanding and analysis for 8 marks. So subsidy. A subsidy is a financial grant that helps to reduce cost of production. It shifts supply curve to the right, creates a surplus, lowers market price and raises quantity traded. As shown in diagram below. So what does the subsidy do? Subsidy, let's first introduce and let's first explain what is the subsidy. So subsidy is a financial grant. It is a financial grant. It helps reduce cost of production. It shifts supply curve to the right. And it lowers the price and raises quantity traded. Now that is what a subsidy do. And we can make the graph quantity price, downward sloping demand curve, upward rising supply curve, do show the initial equilibrium point. Subsidy shifts supply curve to the right, show it with a hairpin arrow and symbol it like S0 and S1, reduces the price from P0 to P1 and quantity from Q0 to Q1. So that's the diagram we have drawn. Now, the question is about public transport, and it is like the transport which operates within a city. We can call it intra-city transport. So should a government give them subsidies or not? So we first talk about the reason that a subsidy should be given, and then we will look at the problems which this subsidy may bring in. A subsidy should be granted as this will make transport more affordable, particularly for those who are poor. Now, transport is a necessity and a cheaper and more affordable transport will help travelers save some money and use it for other needs such as food, education, and health. What I'm trying to tell here that when the when the transport expense goes down and transport becomes cheaper, a person with a fixed income will be spending less on transport now, and he will be able to save some money. He'll be left with a greater amount of money that he can spend on other needs such as education, food, and health, and that will help improve his living standards. It will help raise living standards. Another benefit of cheaper transport and affordable transport would be that workers would become more geographical mobile. Workers would also become more geographical mobile and will be more keen or will be less hesitant, we can say, will be less hesitant to accept jobs away from their houses. Usually, people prefer jobs close to their houses so that they save the time which is needed for traveling as well as the amount of money they need to spend on moving from their house to the workplace and then coming back. When transport becomes affordable, it becomes cheaper, government gives a subsidy, it becomes more economical for the person to travel. Okay, time may still be there, the problem of time may still be there, but the cost of transport will be saved, will be reduced significantly since there is a substantial subsidy. The cost of transport will reduce significantly, and that will enable the worker to accept a job even though it is at a distance from his house, and that will raise employment opportunities. That will help reduce unemployment and generate economic activity. A person who was sitting unemployed at his house now can go at a distance, find a job, can earn, and can be a productive contributor to the economy, and economic activity will be generated. So that's the benefit. People will be more interested to leave their cars home and use the relatively cheaper local rail system. The subsidy will make local rail system relatively cheaper in comparison with private transport. So people will be leaving their cars home and choosing the transport mode which is more economical, and that will help reduce import bill of fuel, road congestion, and pollution. Both air and noise pollution will be reduced because there will be less vehicles on roads, there will be less burning of fossil fuel, and fossil fuel import will fall. So this is another benefit. Public transport may be regarded as a merit good since it does not benefit only those who use public transport, but also the society at large due to additional economic activity. A robust transport system creates. So what is happening? Public transport may be regarded as a merit good. Why? Because it does not only benefit those who use public transport as they get to travel on a cheaper mode of transport, it also benefits the society at large because there will be more employment opportunities, there will be more economic opportunities, there will be more economic activities, more businesses will set up, and all this will benefit the society. So it's a merit good. And the demerit good of private vehicles. Private vehicles are demerit good. The demerit goods of private vehicles that generate external cost. External cost is an A2 term, but we can refer it to external cost over here as well. The demerit good of private vehicles that generate external costs such as road congestion will be less in use. So what will this subsidy do? This subsidy on one hand raise the demand for merit goods such as public transport by making it more affordable. On the other hand, it make this demerit good of fossil fuel vehicles less attractive, and there will be less pollution, there will be less road congestion. However, there are issues. However, subsidies may cost huge amount of money to the government. It's a substantial subsidy. It's a significant amount of subsidy. It will force government to raise taxes or lower spending on other sectors such as education and health. So there is an opportunity cost. Government spends more money on public transport. Government will be left with less money to spend on schools and hospitals. So subsidies are maybe advantages on one side, but it involves an opportunity cost. So you may give a reference to the opportunity cost word as well. It is also not guaranteed that the subsidies are shifted to the consumers in the form of low prices. They may instead be used to make more profits. So the operator of bus service may keep the subsidy to himself and does not give it to the consumer in the form of low prices. In that case, the very purpose of subsidy will be lost and prices won't go down. And prices won't go down and consumption of public transport will not go up. So this could be another problem. And another problem could be, another limitation could be that even after the subsidy, the rich people may continue to use private vehicles, contributing little to reduction of road congestion. So a rich person may not mind ignoring a relatively cheaper public transport. They may think, okay, I can save some money, but the person is so rich that a saving of few dollars doesn't really benefit him, doesn't really bother him. And he continues to use his own private vehicle and continues to burn fossil fuel, continues to cause road congestion. So in the conclusion, in the evaluation side, we may write that subsidies for local transport are a good idea as they do not only make the service more affordable, but also creates employment and income opportunities. Also create income and employment opportunities. And that is, of course, very good contribution for the economy. However, a public awareness campaign a public awareness campaign to inspire people to leave their cars home and switch to more environment friendly rail system. So not only subsidy, but there should be a public awareness campaign that inspires people, motivate them to leave their cars home and switch to more environmental friendly rail system. Should complement the financial incentives subsidies give. So it's not just the amount of subsidy which reduces the transport cost. There should also be a public awareness campaign so that both rich and poor can switch or they become more interested to use public transport, as people can be persuaded to use a transport method which does not damage the environment, which improves the environment, which improves the health of present generation as well as the health of and well-being of coming generations. So this marketing should also be done. Financial incentive has importance. People move to areas or people buy things which are cheaper. But at the same time, there are people who do not mind paying more for something they like to have. So change the perception of people as well. On one hand, give them a financial discount. On the other hand, give them this sense of responsibility that they owe something to the environment to the society, and they should be more responsible citizens. And instead of using their private car each time they come out of their houses, they should be using a more green way of transporting or moving from one point to another, and that is public transport. Now this concludes my discussion. I hope you like this video. Thank you very much for your feedback.